to the very uniquely curated event. I request all to rise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा। तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे। गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
I cordially request our guests of honor, Ms. Nitya Arora, Ms. Anjali Lama, Ms. Anjali Sivaraman, and Flow Past Chairperson Ms. Kamini Saraf, Y-Flow Past Chairpersons Ms. Mansi Malik, Ms. Maurya Boda, and Ms. Nidhi Swaroop, and Y-Flow Chairperson Ms. Sonali Saraf to come light the lamp. I request all the guests and Y-Flow Chairperson Ms. Sonali Saraf to stay back for a picture. Invite the guests of honor, Ms. Nitya Arora, Ms. Anjali Sivaraman, Ms. Anjali Lama, and Y-Flow Chairperson, Ms. Sonali Saraf to come up on stage. I request Y-Flow Chairperson, Ms. Sonali Saraf to give the welcome address.
And I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. It took a deep, long breath and replied, I've been waiting my whole life for this. A very good afternoon to one and all, and a warm welcome to our past chairs and guests, Miss Anjali Lama, Miss Nitya Arora, and Miss Anjali Sivaraman. We exist in a world today where everything can be faked or fixed. Noses can be changed, tummies can be tucked, and cellulite can be lasered away. Because that's what we are told to do in order to look pretty. Statistics suggest that 94% of teenage girls and 65% of teenage boys are body shamed once in their lifetime. Some of us like to change everything about ourselves. It's because society tells us that we are not up to its beauty standards. We are either always too fat, too thin, too short, a tad bit tall, too dark, too much, or just not enough. This topic comes straight from my heart, and I know most of you sitting here would agree with the same. From the day I took this post, I've been promoting change and emphasizing on the true power of potential. From our fun social to having Ms. Navya Naveli and Ms. Mansi Chaudhary speak about being young entrepreneurs, Independence Day celebrations with Ms. Upasana Kamineni ji, and this event all embrace and promote women empowerment. Women are not just homemakers, they are trendsetters for tomorrow. Before we get into the captivating and motivating session with our redefiners, I would like to draw your attention to a few key announcements. We have started a cell wherein we are showcasing our young flow entrepreneurs at every Y-Flow event. This has been done for member engagement, networking, and to stage what amazing work our young entrepreneurs are up to. The Entrepreneurs Corner is right across the hall, and I urge each one of you to please have a look. If you are a YFlow member and would like to be a part and put up your profile, please contact the registration desk for the same. Before I conclude, I have a great and thrilling news coming your way. We are announcing YFlow's first retreat ever in November. IT team, can we have the video, please? Thank you. We will be opening the portals for registrations shortly after we send out the detailed finances of the retreat. As the seats for the retreat are limited, I would request everyone to follow our messages and register as soon as the portal opens up. It will be on first come, first serve basis. I would now like to end by saying, you are bold, you are brilliant, you are beautiful, and there is no other woman like you. Thank you.
It is with great honor that I introduce Ms. Nitya Arora. The bold and curvy model's journey has been an inspiring one. From beach-dwelling Kim Kardashian West to Nicki Minaj, the Parsons graduate and her label Walia have cemented their space in the world of fashion. She started interning and exploring a plethora of avenues while at school. She dabbled with interior design, jewelry, graphics, and moved to fashion in Parsons at New York. While her initial jewelry break was with Bombay Electric and Lakme Fashion Week, she's now a constant at the Paris and Milan Fashion Week, a creative consultant for Verve magazine, and has directed for luxury giants like Louis Vuitton and Gucci. Since designing the jewelry for the 2010 Bollywood rom-com Aisha, her designs have since graced red carpets and many film sets. The designer has also worked closely with celebrities and stylists alike to create custom-made pieces for Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Sridevi, Deepika Padukone, to name a few. Whether it's ideating the likes of Manish Malhotra, JJ Valaya, Masaba Gupta to create custom accessories for enhancing the runway shows, or with Label Life to create a range of home accessories, scarves and bags with her signature aesthetic, Miss Arora has continued to add multiple dimensions to the Valia story and has established herself in the world of Indian high fashion. To top it all, her resume also boasts of modeling for some of the leading labels in the country. Her foray into this field comes at a time where there is a desperate need for diversity in the industry. She has done some phenomenal work with Gaurav Gupta, Tarun Tahiliani, Abu Jani Sandeep Khosla, Shivan Naresh, Ivy Park, Gucci, Adidas, Nykaa, and Cord, to name a few. This voluptuous lady has been a constant force of nature, thriving for change and inspiration throughout her career. Moving on to Miss Anjali Lama. She's the first transgender model to walk the ramp in Lakme Fashion Week 2017. Confident, outspoken, and extremely comfortable with her sexuality, this model broke barriers in the modeling field with her hard work and determination. She started gradually, from being featured on the cover of Voice of Women magazine to walking the ramp in 2017 for Jade by Monisha Jaising, then working with Amit Agarwal, Anita Dongre, Tarun Tahiliani. She was also featured in the documentary Living Inside Someone Else's Skin in 2014. She worked with Calvin Klein, becoming the first transgender to work with an international brand. She featured on the covers of Elle, GQ, Cosmopolitan from 2017 to 2020. She has been awarded Miss Charming, Model of the Year, and at the Grazia Millennial Award. Hardworking is this diva's mantra, and she has been following it religiously to bring about change and truly redefine pretty. Her career path speaks volumes of her grit, dedication to her field, and relentless pursuit of her passion. Our last but not the least, very petite yet very pretty, Miss Anjali Sivaraman. A brilliant actor and model, well known for her recent work in Cobalt Blue, It's Complicated, and Jenny. Her education from Bangalore and United Kingdom, work experience as an assistant director at a music studio in Mumbai brought her to the career path. Being a daughter of the famous South Indian playback singer Chitra Iyer, she is also gifted with a melodious voice. Her family also encouraged her to pursue the arts. She starred in commercials and has advertised for many brands such as Center Fresh, La Shield, Sophie, Whisper, Tinder, Durex, Vivo India, along with actor Ranveer Singh, to name a few. She's also got featured on the cover page of Elle. She started her modeling career with Jade and has then been approached by India's biggest bridal designer, Sabyasachi, and the well-known Masaba Gupta. This petite model chose to rise against all odds, defied the norms, and is now an inspiration to all in her field. Thank you. I kindly now request our YFlow chairperson, Ms. Sonali Saraf, to start the session. May I request our past flow chairperson, Ms. Kamini Saraf, and YFlow past chairperson, Mansi Malik, to felicitate the guest, Ms. Nitya Arora. The guests are being given green certificates and a small memento of appreciation. Under our green initiative, we are planting trees on behalf of our guests. I request past YFlow chairperson, Ms. Nidhi Swaroop, to felicitate Ms. Anjali Lama. I invite past YFlow chairperson, Ms. Maurya Boda, to felicitate Ms. Anjali Sivaraman. I now request Ms. Sonali Saraf to begin the session.
Okay. Growing up, we've all believed that our glass figure was the perfect body type. If you see the globe from north to south, east to west, the definition of beauty is different. Some are fair, some are dark, some are tall, some are short, some with big eyes, some with small noses, and so on. As we grow up, we also see the shift in our body type. Our skin changes too. When nature is showing us that that pretty is not constant or fixed, and why are we so obsessed with certain looks? Why do people's opinions matter so much? We would like to hear from all three of you, how were your growing up years? How did you define your pretty? You want to start, Anjali?
Sure. Hello. Well, growing up, I was always constantly told, oh, you're a pretty girl, oh, you're a pretty girl. But then that comes with its drawbacks as well, and comes with its own insecurities attached, because then I was basically labeled a pretty girl with no brains. So anything else that I was capable of doing or capable of achieving was completely sidelined because, oh, you're a pretty girl. And in the same breath, my classmates in school weren't very pleased with that fact. So that turned against me. And I just felt like while I was growing up, or while most kids are growing up, it is important to keep the focus on their looks as a complete, I don't know, afterthought, whereas you should focus more on what they can achieve, honing their skills, honing, their minds, and shaping them into becoming more confident people. Because if you only focus on looks, you grow up with a lot of insecurities, and that affects you in every field, because any field requires you to have confidence at the end of the day. So yeah, I didn't really appreciate constantly being called pretty.
Okay, Nitya, do you want to go next with your story?
Yeah, so like Anjali, I got told that, you have such a beautiful face, but there was always a but following that sentence. So it was never just a compliment, it was always a, but you need to lose some weight, or but if you lost weight, then you'd be very pretty. So I would just be like, okay, cool. I also got like a lot of relatives saying to me, oh, if you don't lose weight, like nobody will marry you. I heard that so much. And I was, I think, a tween. I was not even a teenager then. And that really messes with your brain because at the end of the day, your subconscious mind is absorbing way more than you know. And when you're constantly told that, subconsciously it translates into like some sort of like action or issue or some sort of self-image that you develop when you're young. So yeah, and now when I look back at pictures of my teenage years, I'm like, I was so skinny and people called me fat all the time. I got shamed like, from people in my class to like people in the building to my old uncles and aunties that were far from perfect. So yeah, but I was really lucky because my parents were just the most wonderful, doting parents. Like they never commented really on my looks. So I think that really made me grow up like in a more secure environment, which was nice.
So tell us, how did you get into the modeling world? Like, what pushed you to go there?
Um, when I was very young, from a young age, I loved being on stage in front of the camera. I loved to pose. I was always in front of the mirror, like, making faces, and I wanted to be an actress. But a comment from an uncle when I was really young really made me, completely discouraged me from the thought or the dream of becoming an actress. He was like, you want to be an actress? You'll have to get liposuction. And I was so young. So I was like, oh God, I'll have to starve myself. I won't be able to eat. Like, how will I do this? So then my second best option was to become a designer because I loved design. And I got into fashion. But I never ever saw, when I opened a magazine, I never saw any kind of representation of my body type or never saw myself on screen. I always saw myself in the main character's best friend. I never saw myself in like the main protagonist of like a movie or a play or, the fashion models that walked the ramp back then. And heroin chic was really in when I was a teenager. So Paris Hilton, and Misha Barton, that are all skin and bones. They were like, the icons that really like we grew up with. And I looked nothing like Britney Spears. She was my inspiration. So I was like, nahi, nahi, ye nahi ho sakta. Like, I can't do this. So that was just not even an option, even if I wanted to be in front of the camera. But things changed in somewhere around 2017, 18. I had been in front of the camera shooting as a designer. So, if you won an award, a best jewelry designer award back then, there was no fancy award function like they have now, where all of Bollywood is given fashion awards. They just called you up and said, "Hey, you've won the award for the best jewelry designer, and you need to come in and do a photo shoot, and it'll be printed in the magazine that you've won this award." So, that was like the first time I was actually dressed up and a stylist styled me. I had professional hair and makeup, and I did a photo shoot for Grazia magazine, or I think it was Verve actually. It was in 2010. And so I had some like experience of being in front of the camera in that sense. But then the first time I was ever asked to come and model was for Cosmopolitan was doing a spread on different body types, and it was called Curves Ahead. And there were a few women who were part of this spread, and Sunny Leone was one of them.
I think at that time a lot of change was coming about with like the Kim Kardashians and the Sunny Leones and with Dirty Picture and Vidya Balan's voluptuous figure, becoming really popular. Curves were coming back slowly. So Cosmopolitan did a spread called Curves Ahead, and they were like, "Oh, we want you to be part of it." And I thought, I'm going to go there and they're going to dress me up. And like the usual, I went there and the stylist was like, I was like, "So what am I wearing?" And he gave me a bodysuit, which is like a swimsuit to wear. And I was like, "And what do I wear on top of it?" He was like, "Nothing, that's it." I was like, "You're joking." I had never exposed my body in front of the camera, like in a swimsuit before. And I was petrified. And I was like, no, I can't do this. I wanted to run away. But Ashish Shah, who's become really famous now for doing the famous Ranveer portrait, the Ranveer nudes, he was shooting that spread, and I really admired him. So I said, "Okay, fine, Ashish, like I trust you." And somehow he talked me into doing it. And I left the photo shoot and I was like almost in tears. I called my mother and I was like, "I don't know what I've done. They put me in a swimsuit. They put me in a swimsuit." She was like, "Yeah, okay, so what?" And the pictures actually turned out quite beautiful. I was wearing this nude colored bodysuit with like thigh high boots. It's a black and white image. And I got so many calls from friends and relatives and friends of friends saying, "You are so inspiring and the confidence is so inspiring." One girl messaged me saying, "I have never worn a bathing suit or been to a beach because I'm scared of like, not having a beach body." And I was like, "What does that even mean? Have you never like gone to the beach because you're scared you look ugly in a swimsuit?" She was like, "Yeah, but now like, seeing you do it, I feel a little more encouraged." And I think that was when like it changed for me, and I just became more confident and like open to modeling and yeah, and decided that sure, if opportunity knocks on my door, I'm going to do it.
So it's all about taking the first step, right? You do it once, then you are open to the idea of being okay with your body.
Yeah, it's like jumping into the pool or water for the first time, and you may not be able to breathe, but once you learn how to swim, you enjoy it.
Thank you so much for that. And would you like to, Anjali, would you like to continue with your story? Yeah, I think we can hear you.
You have to switch it on.
Hello everyone. First of all, thank you so much, Yellow Foundation and Ms. Sonali and Priyanka for choosing me one of the guests today here. I don't know how to start. Like my journey is quite different. I came like very far. Like मैं नेपाल की एक बहुत ही छोटी सी गांव से आया हूँ. मैं नेपाल का इतना दूर से हूँ कि like I cannot imagine here where I am today. कि मेरा गांव नेपाल का कैपिटल सिटी काठमांडू से भी ऑलमोस्ट एक दिन लगता है. जब मैंने स्कूल जाते थे तो स्कूल पहुंचने के लिए 2 घंटा और स्कूल से घर पहुंचने के लिए 2 घंटा. एवरी डे आई हैव टू वर्क 4 आवर्स. ऐसे जगह से बिलोंग करती हूँ मैं मेरा फैमिली बहुत बड़ा फैमिली से बिलोंग करती हूँ और मेरा फैमिली पूरा फार्मिंग में डिपेंड करते थे. हम 7 सिबलिंग्स है. मेरा 4 भाई है, 2 बहन है एंड मैं 5वें नंबर का हूँ. तो बेसिकली मेरा गांव में ऐसा ट्रेंड है. मेरा गांव में अब वो ज़माने में सारे गांव के लोगों को ऐसा था कि बहुत ज़्यादा बच्चा पैदा करेंगे तो खेत बाड़ी में काम करने के लिए पेरेंट्स को हेल्प हो जाएगा. ये सोच के बहुत सारे बच्चे पैदा करते थे. बट मेरा फैमिली में ऐसा था कि मेरा मम्मी पापा को बेटी चाहिए थी. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली जब मैं भी जन्म हुआ तो बेटा हुआ. तो फाइनली बाद में मेरा मम्मी पापा को 2 बहन मिला. दिस इज़ हाउ ये मेरा स्टोरी है. तो और मेरा गांव में मतलब हमारा सब ऐसा था कि रात में खाए तो सुबह क्या खाए, सुबह खाए तो रात में क्या खाए. और एक कपड़े फट गए तो मम्मी पापा के चेहरे में बहुत दिख जाता था कि बच्चों को कपड़े कैसे दिलाऊं, कहाँ से लाऊं। ऐसे फैमिली से बिलोंग करती हूँ। जब मैंने बचपन में बहुत सारे काम किया है, जंगल में जाके घास, लकड़ी, गाय भैंस का गोबर उठाना, देन खेतों में मम्मी पापा के साथ काम, खेत में हाथ बटाना, ऐसे करके मैंने स्कूल कंप्लीट किया। बीइंग ट्रांस, बचपन से ही मुझे बहुत सारे मेंटली टॉर्चर होते थे, बीइंग अ बॉय एंड बिहेविंग लाइक अ गर्ल। फैमिली, भाई, फ्रेंड्स, स्कूल, एवरीवेयर मेंटली टॉर्चर होते थे कि अरे बाप रे, ये तो लड़का होकर क्यों लड़की की जैसे बिहेव करते हैं, क्यों लड़की की जैसे बात करते हैं। टीचर, सारे फ्रेंड्स मुझे बहुत मेंटली टॉर्चर होते थे। समटाइम्स आई ऑल्सो यूज टू फील, हाँ मैं लड़का हूँ, मेरा ऐसा बिहेव क्यों होता है। कि सो मेनी टाइम्स आई ट्राई टू चेंज माई सेल्फ बट इट कुडंट। एक दो दिन हो जाता था, फिर नहीं होता था। ऐसे आई कंप्लीटेड माई स्कूल, देन स्कूल कंप्लीट होने के बाद आई केम टू कैपिटल सिटी काठमांडू टू हायर एजुकेशन। बट मेरा फैमिली का इतना हैसियत नहीं था कि घर से पैसा भेज के कॉलेज ज्वाइन कर सकूँ। तो हमारा जितना भी गांव का लोग थे तो स्कूल कंप्लीट करने के बाद शहर में खुद काम करके अपना एजुकेशन को आगे बढ़ाते थे। तो मैं भी यही सोच के स्कूल कंप्लीट होने के बाद शहर आए। देन क्या करें, शहर में काम तो करना पड़ेगा, विदाउट काम हाउ टू सर्वाइव एंड हाउ टू पे योर कॉलेज फीस एवरीथिंग। तो फर्स्ट टाइम व्हेन आई वाज वर्किंग in a restaurant as a dishwasher, and that time I used to I think it was 2001 to कब का बात था, मैं थोड़ा exactly year भी नहीं मालूम, but I used to get 500 salary. Oh my God, शहर आने के बाद तो मतलब मुझे जितना मेंटली टॉर्चर होते थे और ज़्यादा टॉर्चर करने लगे। कॉलेज में, काम करने की जगह में, हर जगह की ये तो लड़का होकर लड़की जैसे इतना मेंटली बुलिट होते थे कि बात करके आई कैन नॉट कि हाउ टू डिस्क्राइब कि मैं कितनी बार रोती थी, कितनी बार काम से निकाल दिया करता था। एंड ऐसे में 2005 में आई डिस्क्लोज माई आइडेंटिटी एज अ ट्रांसजेंडर। तो जब मैंने जो हमारा नेपाल में LGBTQ कम्युनिटी का सेंटर मिला, तब पता चला कि आई एम ट्रांसजेंडर। तो इतने सालों से मैं खुद को सवाल करती थी कि मैं क्या हूँ, कौन हूँ। देन पता चला, देन फाइनल आई डिस्क्लोज माई आइडेंटिटी फ्रॉम 2005। देन आई थिंक दैट वाज द वन ऑफ द मेमोरेबल डे इन माई लाइफ कि फाइनली जो बचपन से लेकर आई थिंक दैट टाइम मैं 18 साल का, 19 साल का था कि आई स्टार्टेड लिविंग एज हु एम आई। Then when I used to work in restaurant, and when I went to the community center, so many people used to give me compliment as you look like a model, you have a very tall body and you look very pretty. मुझे पता नहीं था लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं, मुझे तो इतना इंग्लिश में समझ में नहीं आया था। फैशन क्या है, मॉडलिंग क्या है, कुछ समझ में नहीं आया था। आई थिंक मुझे लगता था कि ये अच्छा कम्प्लीमेंट है, तो मैं बस मुस्कुराती थी तो ख़त्म कर देते थे। देन जब कम्युनिटी सेंटर में पहुंचा था तो वहाँ पे भी बहुत सारे फ्रेंड, अब ये तो मॉडल जैसे दिखती है, बहुत लंबी है, दिखती भी सुंदर है। तो फिर से वही बात दिमाग में हिट किया कि मॉडल, सब लोग तो मुझे मॉडल जैसे बोलते हैं, व्हाट इज इट। फाइनली स्लोली आई केम टू नो अबाउट मॉडलिंग। एंड 2007 में मैंने ट्रांसजेंडर ब्यूटी पैजेंट में पार्टिसिपेट किया। तो व्हेन आई वाज इन स्कूल आई वाज वेरी शाई। मैंने ऐसे कभी एक्स्ट्रा एक्टिविटीज़ में कभी पार्टिसिपेट नहीं किया। तो फर्स्ट टाइम मैंने ब्यूटी पैजेंट में पार्टिसिपेट किया। देन दैट टाइम आई केम टू नो अबाउट मॉडलिंग, पोजिंग, ग्रूमिंग। देन पहली बार मुझे स्टेज में जाके आई वाज इतना नर्वस थी मैं कि मैं क्या बताऊं कि मैं आगे जाके ब्यूटी पैजेंट में ये सिखा सकती कि आगे जाके हंसना पड़ता है, मुस्कुराना पड़ता है। आई वॉज ट्राइंग टू लाफ बट मैं हंस भी नहीं पा रही थी। मेरा शिवरिंग माई वर्ड्स ऐसे हंस भी नहीं पा रहे थे। ऐसे मैंने स्टार्ट किया। देन स्लोली आई थिंक आई मॉडलिंग में मुझे धीरे धीरे इंटरेस्ट आने लगी। देन फाइनली 2009 में आई गेट अ ब्रेक। तो एक मैगजीन था वाव, वॉइस ऑफ वुमेन, जो नेपाल का वन ऑफ द लीडिंग मैगजीन वो ज़माने में। वो मैगजीन ट्रांसजेंडर का स्टोरीज कवर कर रहे थे। तो वहाँ पे आई वॉज द वन ऑफ द लकी कि हम दो फ्रेंड को कवर में चांस मिला। Then, you know, photographer says, ki, you look very pretty, you look photogenic. Then मुझे confidence आ गया थोड़ा. I think I have something. Then I can be a model. Then only I decided to be a model. Then but ये जर्नी इतना इजी नहीं था. Then 2009 में मैंने I decided to be a model. Then 2 साल तक मुझे एक भी काम नहीं मिला. 2011 में finally I got the one show. That was also like free. It was not paid, but I was very happy कि मैं finally I got a chance. तो मैं बहुत खुश थी. Then slowly my journey started as a model. Then people started knowing me as a first transgender model of Nepal. Then 2009 से लेकर 2016 तक में मैंने नेपाल का एक अच्छी मॉडल की तरह अपना जगह बना लिया. Then when I was doing modeling in Nepal, some of my good friend used to tell me कि you should go abroad. तुम्हें बाहर जाना चाहिए. You really have a that quality. You can be a one of the good model. But being a transgender, every time खुद को इतना underestimate करते थे कि मैं ट्रांसजेंडर हूँ, मुझे कौन चांस देगा, हमारा सोसाइटी में ऐसा है, एक तो मुझे अच्छे से इंग्लिश नहीं आती है, एक तो मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है, मैं कहाँ से जाऊँ, कैसे स्टार्ट करूँ. तो ऐसे में मेरा दिमाग में बात आई कि एटलीस्ट आई कैन गो टू इंडिया. इंडिया में मुझे वीज़ा की ज़रूरी नहीं होती है. मैं थोड़ा बहुत हिंदी तो मैं बोल लेती हूँ, मुझे आती है. तो आई स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग अबाउट इट. देन मैंने लैक्मे फैशन वीक में ट्राई किया, ऑडिशन दिया 2016 में पहली बार. बट आई कुडंट गेट सेलेक्ट. देन अगेन सेकेंड टाइम आया, फिर भी मैं सेलेक्ट नहीं हुआ. देन क्या करे, ओ माय गॉड. देन थर्ड टाइम ऑल्सो आई ट्राई. तो थर्ड टाइम आने से पहले मैंने रिसर्च किया, बहुत सारे होमवर्क किया कि 2 बार मैं सेलेक्ट क्यों नहीं हुआ था. एंड मैंने बहुत सारे रिसर्च करके जो यूट्यूब में लैक्मे फैशन में एवरी टाइम जो मॉडल सेलेक्ट होते हैं, सेलेक्टेड मॉडल्स एंड ऑडिशन में जो भी मॉडल आते हैं सबको वीडियो यूट्यूब में होता है. तो मैंने देखा जो सेलेक्टेड मॉडल्स हाउ दे वर वॉकिंग, उन लोगों का मेकअप क्या था, उन लोगों को कैसे पोज कर रहे थे, क्या पहन के गए थे, मैंने सब नोट कर ली. देन थर्ड टाइम में तो किसी भी हाल में मुझे सेलेक्ट होना है, ऐसे करके मैंने इसे बहुत प्रिपेयर करके गई थी. देन फाइनली आई गेट सेलेक्टेड. देन रेस्ट इज हिस्ट्री.
Wow. Amazing journey.
That was really an amazing and overwhelming story. I think we all got a little bit of inspiration from there. So my next question is to you, Anjali. Whenever we think of a model on the ramp, we imagine them being super tall, overpowering, fair. How did you fit into the modeling world? Were you asked to wear heels, apply lighter foundation, and look a certain way?
Well, in terms of my height, yes, it was always a problem. Even if I wore heels, I would constantly hear, oh, but the lehenga's too long. Put her on a patla, put her on a patla. So I'd constantly be standing on apple boxes to make my height appear taller. And although I find that that's changing a little now, because I see a lot of petite models who are much shorter than me who are modeling for bridal wear, where, they're very clearly not standing on a patla because they're walking around and the lehengas seem to fit them perfectly, lengthwise. So that's really nice. But yes, it was always a really big insecurity because everyone around me was really tall. And then I would be this little thing over there who had to wear the highest heels that they had. And also because I'm shorter, my foot size is smaller, and they invariably never have my foot size available because I wear a 37, so I would have to wear big heels that don't fit me, so somehow balance in them, and the tallest heel that they have available, so I'd be balancing on those in those heels, and I'd have to stand on a little apple box to make sure that my height would match with everyone else's. In terms of foundation and stuff, I've actually surprisingly never faced that problem before. yes, a lot of people have mentioned, oh, you have duskier skin. But then some people say, oh, no, you don't have dusky skin, you have light skin. So that's a little confusing for me. But I've never had the issue of having to change my skin color, because that's something I stand firm on. I refuse to change my skin color. Yeah.
That's really amazing. But tell us, like, how has the modeling world changed now? Like, do you see a huge difference when you started and when you right now?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so when I started out, I would say I properly got into modeling in 2017, but I had been trying since 2015. The first thing I did was approach an agency, and the comments I got was, you have a very nice face, but your height is a little short, but we're willing to look past it as long as you're willing to lose weight and come down to the size that we want you to be. To which I responded saying, I'm not comfortable with losing a lot of weight, but I will tone up and get fit. I can do that. And I was then told, okay, good luck with your future. We're not interested. So that was the first introduction for me into the modeling industry. And no matter how hard I would try, I was constantly told that my body wasn't right, that I was too fat, that I needed to lose weight, I needed to grow my hair long, and I'm already short, so that's a problem, and because that's a problem, you need to lose weight because you need to compromise somewhere to be able to fit into this industry. The first big campaign that I ever did, before doing the campaign, I was told, lose 3 kgs and come. Yeah, this is about a week, 2 weeks before the campaign happened. And when I came, they literally inspected my body, like, did you lose the weight? Okay, if you say so. So then automatically I was extremely conscious in front of the camera, because someone had passed that judgment so openly. It baffled me, because before I was 20, I was very, very, very skinny, and then puberty hit and I grew into my curves. I'm a South Indian woman. I have hips, I have curves. And I never thought of it as a problem until people started saying, oh, you're fat. You need to lose weight. What are you doing? And it was bizarre to me. So then that started building in my head. And in 2020, I was about to do an acting role, my first acting role. And even there, it was made very clear to me that my body is not right, that I'm too fat, that, something or the other is wrong, or your skin is not correct, or this, that, and the other. So it was a long time coming. But I feel like something happened in the last 3 years during the lockdown. And somehow people suddenly started becoming more respectful towards other people's bodies and towards other people's looks, and became more accepting of what's natural rather than what's manufactured or can be manufactured. So I feel like over the past 3 years, there's genuinely been a change, because now you see more full-figured women, and actually not for men. I wouldn't say that it's changed for men, but with women, I would say that there's more full-figured women who are modeling. There's shorter women, there's tall women, there's muscular women, dusky women. I'd say the dusky thing has really taken off, because you see more and more and more dusky models in the industry, which is great. Curly hair is starting to become more acceptable as well. People don't try to straighten my hair now. Like pre-2019, people would constantly straighten my hair to make it look more acceptable. But now I'm constantly told, no one touch her hair, let her keep her curls. So yeah, a lot is changing in the industry. That's great.
Yeah, if you were called curvy, then I think we are just standing in the back of the line there.
Can you
I
imagine?
should just leave the room.
Can you imagine?
So before I ask you a question, Nitya, I'd like to share something personal. So I was around 54 kgs as a 25-year-old. And I remember my relative, this particular relative of mine, calling me Moti all the time, like it was just a passing comment, you know. And I was really influenced by that person. So I thought, okay, I am fat. And now that I'm 72 kgs, I'm thinking, oh my God, I wasted my bikini body then. So how do you, like coming to you, you are completely revolutionized the plus size figure with so much elan and grace. Do you still feel you want to be thinner, or is there a lingering thought around that you would like to get to a certain small size?
You know, like the conditioning is so deep rooted that I think that, you know, you're constantly trying to lose weight, be on a diet, or so that, you know, it continues. But having said that, I'm also, I would say, like double of what I used to be when I was called fat, but I don't think I was. I think I was fine. I was just right. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I looked amazing. I was perfect. Like, why did I constantly think that I was fat and believed everyone when they called me fat? So now I wish for that body. So I don't think that I crave to be, earlier I would crave to be like a Britney or a Paris Hilton, but now I just want my own body, but fitter and tighter and, you know, just better. And like Anjali was also pointing out that, you know, something shifted and something changed. I have been in the industry for 17 years in fashion, and in 2020 was the first time that I saw my body type on an international fashion runway. When I saw the Fendi show at Chanel, I was in shock, like I almost fainted, because Karl Lagerfeld, he was really famous for smelling food. He didn't eat food, he smelled food, because he was like, you know, shamed so badly when he was a child, and he was so tormented that he grew to like be obsessed with being skinny and not eating. And for him to have like a voluptuous model walk the ramp for Chanel would have been like unheard of and not possible. And sadly, he wasn't alive to see it happening. But you know, it was the first time in the history of fashion, and fashion goes back a long ways. So for the first time in the history of fashion that, you know, and Ashley Graham was walking the ramp for an international brand, or she was on the cover of a Vogue magazine. And because that change happened internationally and on such a big platform, it obviously trickled down to like other countries and, you know, finally to India. And then I had the opportunity. But it took like such a long time for that change to come, and I just hope that it's not a trend, or it's just not tokenism, and it continues. And that's why, you know, we need to continue this conversation, and we need to continue the conversation, you know, for as long as it takes for me to open a fashion magazine and not see the spread being titled as body issue or body positivity or curvy models or curves ahead. It should just be normal. Like I usually get a call saying, oh, we're doing this like spread on like curvy bodies or body positivity. Every body positivity issue they call me to come model, and I'm like, why can't I'm waiting to get that call saying it's just a normal fashion editorial and we want you to be a part of it, where there's a mix of women. So
We are getting there, I guess.
slowly but surely.
Yeah. So, Anjali, this question is for you. Society ने हमेशा transgenders को बड़े पर्दे पे drag queens के जैसे देखा है. आप ये स्टिग्मा हर रोज़ फेस करती हैं, और आप उससे कैसे उभर कर आती हैं, और कैसे उभर कर आती हैं?
आई थिंक या सोसाइटी में ये हमेशा ऐसे चैलेंजेस होते रहते हैं. मतलब द थिंग इज़ व्हाट आई वांट टू से इज़ फर्स्ट थिंग इज़ यू हैव टू बी योरसेल्फ, एंड you have to like, come as who you are. Then only people will know, society will know, everybody will know. जैसे कि लाइक कि अगर बात किया जाए तो व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड मॉडलिंग मुझे कितनी साल तक तो लाइक अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिला, मतलब इतने शोज में इतने लाइक डिज़ाइनर ने मुझसे रिजेक्ट किया. इवन लाइक वन ऑफ द मेजर इवेंट्स नॉट इन इंडिया व्हाइल आई वाज डूइंग मॉडलिंग इन नेपाल में मैं नेपाल फैशन वीक में आई ट्राइड फॉर 3 times. Even I couldn't get selected. But sometimes we can judge ourselves also कि हमें खुद में कितना लाइक कैपेबल है, कहाँ तक जा सकते हैं, क्या कर सकते हैं, खुद का कलीग कहाँ तक जा रहे हैं, लाइक साथ में ट्रेनिंग किया फ्रेंड लोग सेलेक्ट हो रहे हैं, उनका एंड मेरा तो सेम ही दिखता है, वैसा होता है. फिर भी आई वॉज नॉट सेलेक्टिंग लाइक देन लेटर आई केम टू नो कि आई वॉज नॉट get selected only because of my identity. Then I thought like कि कहते हैं ना कि हमारा बड़े बुजुर्ग लोग एक जगह में नहीं हो रहे हैं, एक देश में नहीं हो रहे, तो क्या दूसरे जगह जा सकते हैं, या इफ़ यू हैव अ बिग ड्रीम देन यू नीड टू मूव इन बिग सिटी और बिग कंट्री. तो मैंने नेपाल छोड़ के इंडिया को चूज़ किया कि नेपाल में मुझे चांस नहीं मिला तो क्या हो, इंडिया इज़ वेरी बिग कंट्री. यानी इंडिया में फैशन इंडस्ट्री इतना बड़ा है कि नेपाल में मुझे 2 लोग ने चांस दिया है, तो इंडिया में मुझे 5 लोग चांस दे सकते हैं, अपॉर्चुनिटी दे सकते हैं. देन वन चांस मिलने के बाद देयर इज लाइक यू नीड टू प्रूव, देन पीपल विल नो कि इसमें कितना क्वालिटी है, कि ये क्या कर सकते कि नहीं कर सकते. इसलिए मैंने लाइक आई चूज इंडिया. देन फाइनली आई मेड माई नेम इन इंडिया. नेपाल में जितना किया तो मैंने नेपाल में 2009 से लेकर 16 उससे कहीं ज़्यादा मैंने इंडिया में आके अचीव किया. जो चीज़ें मैंने कभी ज़िंदगी में सोचा भी नहीं था कि मेरा करियर में इतना आगे तक जा पाऊँगी, कभी सोचा नहीं था. मैंने लखनऊ फैशन वीक में वॉक करूँगी, उसके बाद लाइक इतने बड़े कैंपेन्स करूँगी, मेरा नाम को लाइक इतना आगे तक लेके जाऊँ, मैंने सोचा नहीं था. बट इट्स हैपन, यू जस्ट हैव टू बी योरसेल्फ.
And now you're going to conquer the US too.
Yes, and I'm very excited now. Finally, Nepal, Mumbai. Then I'm like my new chapter of life. Like मैं अभी न्यूयॉर्क शिफ्ट हो रही हूँ. Yeah.
All the best for that.
Thank you.
Nepal to New York.
Yeah. So Anjali, this question is for you. While being fair and tall are not as important in the field now, what factors can models not do without? What are the must-haves?
Let's see. Well, first and foremost would probably be confidence. Models have to exude confidence, because the second you show any amount of insecurity outwardly, it'll show in pictures and it'll immediately, not cut it. I would say every model possesses some unique feature or the other. So that is important, because at the end of the day, you are representing brands and things, and people with unique features stand out and are memorable. And when they're memorable, the brand that you're representing is also remembered. So yeah, confidence and unique features is what I'm going with.
Thank you. Nitya, since you're such a confident girl, tell us what difference do you see in our generation and Generation Z regarding accepting their bodies?
So, I mean, I think I've said this a couple of times. Like when we were growing up, our icons were, really skinny, or like they looked a certain way. Like I remember even when Kareena Kapoor was joining the industry, and she was a very lovely looking Punjabi girl, and she was she was perfect, but she like literally went on this really crash diet and became a size 0 because she was trying to live up to that image, because in our generation grew up seeing that and was conditioned to believe that only that is acceptable. But what's great about the generation today is that they have icons that are of all shapes and sizes. Like Billie Eilish, she's not a conventionally skinny, petite, or like, you know, slim person. She has a different body type, but she's such a huge icon. When you see Lizzo, Lizzo is such an amazing artist, whether it's Megan the Stallion, whether it's, you know, Nicki Minaj or Rihanna. They all are, and now even Beyonce, you know, earlier even, I think Beyonce was quite like on the skinny side. I mean, she was always like, she's a black woman, so she was always voluptuous. But now, if you see Beyonce, she is like embracing her curves and how. And I think even with Kim Kardashian, like becoming such a huge icon, curves really came back. And I think that the young generation now have very different role models and unique, different looking women that they look up to, and they feel it's okay to embrace who they are and as they are. And there are trends, like now the Y2K trend is so big now. And I remember when I was growing up and the Y2K trend was actually happening, I loved spaghetti straps and, like, you know, we used to call them boob tubes, like the you know, the bands, the tube tops. And I would never even show my arms. I couldn't even wear sleeveless. I was so shy of my Punjabi arms. And I was at a mall the other day. I don't know where the hell I was, but I saw all these like young girls carrying, like, you know, wearing the tube tops and the spaghetti straps and like all shapes and sizes, and very confidently strutting around, like, you know, looking very trendy and very confident. And it made me so happy. And I was like, wow, you know, I wish like when I was their age, I was able to like really embrace these trends with my body. But I was constantly looking to cover up my arms with a jacket. And sadly, it's changed, but it needs a little bit of a push. So I think that's the difference.
I think all three of you are role models too for Generation Z. For sure.
This is true.
सो अंजलि, किस ब्रांड ने आपको सबसे पहला ब्रेक दिया? आप जब आप अभी सारे टॉप ब्रांड्स के लिए काम करती हैं, तो आप कौन से ब्रांड के साथ सबसे ज़्यादा कंफर्टेबल है और क्यों?
आई थिंक मैं सब ब्रांड के साथ काम करने के लिए, जितने ब्रांड के साथ मैंने काम किया है, आई एम वेरी मच कंफर्टेबल विथ एवरीवन. आई एम सो ग्रेटफुल कि मैंने जिसने मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी है, जिसके साथ मैंने काम किया. आई एम वेरी लाइक थैंकफुल टू देम, एंड आई वुड लाइक टू थैंक ईच एंड एवरी वन. बट वंस आई वर्क फॉर लैक्मे, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द लिवाइज, द ब्रांड, उसने मुझे पहले बार चांस दिया था. दो लाइक आई शेप माई वर्ल्ड, द कैंपेन पहली बार किया था. एंड यू नो, आई हैव वर्क विथ सो मेनी ब्रांड्स. एंड सबका मतलब फेवरेट होता है, बट इफ़ आई हैव टू टेक अ फ्यू नेम्स इन इंडिया, definitely like Mr. Sabyasachi Mukherjee, and another is Gaurang Shah, Gaurav Gupta. They are one of the like my very favorite. And अगर internationally बात किया जाए तो of course Calvin Klein and MAC Cosmetic, like they are very memorable for me. Like they are like special and memorable इसलिए कि जो Gaurav Gupta, Mr. Sabyasachi, how they treat model and how they like, you know, respect each and everyone's time. They follow time, rules, everything. That's why they are today like one of the like, you know, renowned like or top designer. And internationally की बात किया जाए तो Calvin Klein, MAC Cosmetic, Puma, वो लोग इसलिए नंबर 1 या टॉप ब्रांड में नहीं हुआ है क्योंकि they literally follow the rules and they respect each and everyone's like, you know, very like time इतना like होता है कि like जो time होता है time एक very punctual कि I have to say like it's my experience. जितना जो भी बड़े ब्रांड्स या बड़े डिज़ाइनर्स उनके साथ काम करने में और ही मज़ा आता है, क्योंकि इतना लाइक फ्लो में जाता है काम, कॉल टाइम, फिनिशिंग टाइम, लंच टाइम. कितने ऐसे क्लाइंट भी है जो खाने को पूछता ही नहीं है. एंड इन माई मॉडलिंग जर्नी आई हैव लाइक फेस दिस सो मेनी टाइम्स कि क्लाइंट के साथ झगड़ा करना, खाने के लिए प्लीज़ मुझे खाना चाहिए, लंच चाहिए, डिनर चाहिए, ऐसे कुछ भी, ब्रेकफास्ट चाहिए, बोलते रहना पड़ता है. बट जो मैंने अभी जो मेरा फेवरेट बोला है, हमको पूछने की ज़रूरी नहीं होती कि दे कॉन्स्टेंटली कीप आस्किंग आपको पीने के लिए कुछ चाहिए, खाने के लिए कुछ चाहिए, तो इट हैज़ टू बी लाइक दिस. सो दे आर माई फेवरेट, दैट्स वाई.
Thank you. So this question is open to the both of you. I was reading some article yesterday and I came across a very interesting one where Linda Evangelista, she's 57 now, and she said this about her picture on the cover of Vogue magazine. This is not my jaw and neck in real life. It was all taped. What do you feel about this? Is it a common practice? How do you think it impacts the young minds?
I mean, I think it is a common practice. I mean, you hear a lot about women taping their eyes to make them look more snatched and cat-eye-like. And I think in this day and age, surgery is like going to the dentist, you know? Most women or men are constantly enhancing their lips or their eyebrows or even shaping their jaws just to look more angular. And I feel like there are a lot of celebrities in this day and age who do that and therefore encourage the younger generations to follow suit. So in my opinion, I think there's like two movements that are going on right now: the accept surgery movement and the all natural movement. They're very contrasting. So yeah.
Also, Instagram filters don't help, right? Because you are like we spend so much time online now, and we are consuming so much content that is filtered. You know, it's not real people. It's not how they actually look. It's a filter. But your eye and your brain is getting trained to believe that that is what normal is, or that is what good looking, it is to be good looking. And as a result, I see so many young girls, I'm like, I can't tell one from the other. They all look the same because they all want the same lips. They all want the same, like, you know, now this new thread surgery. You know, they, I don't know. Anyway, let me not talk about it because I don't know much about it. But, and the jawline is like a really big thing now. A lot of men are doing it. And there's this really big cosmetologist in Delhi, and I follow him on Instagram for fun. And I'm just in shock when I see the men that are going to get their jaw done. Like, they look like the guy that you would see, you know, in that airport bus when you're going to your aircraft. Like, it could be any person. And they're getting, like, normal people are getting their jaws done and lips done. And young girls who are 17, 18, and the entire crop of, like, new age Bollywood kids are all, you know, have gotten stuff done, like body enhancements, face enhancements. So it's just becoming like, you know, people have Botox tea parties where they just like have tea and they have a person coming and injecting their faces for fun. So it's just become so casual now to enhance your features and your body. And as Anjali pointed out, that there's like a natural movement going on. Till today, this sounds absolutely like insane, but like till today, my mother doesn't let me get like LASIK hair removal done because she's like, no, let it be natural. I'm just like, listen, it's normal, everyone does it, but it's the same mindset now with everything else. So
Dangerous.
it's dangerous. So it's not just limited now to models or like someone who's on a magazine cover. It's your next door neighbor and it's the people in your kids' class.
Exactly. It's because there are so many, it's become so accessible that there are so many celebrities doing it, younger and older celebrities. And because they're global icons, younger people are looking at them and saying, that's perfection, I want perfection, so I will have to do this and this and this to my face to achieve that perfection. So that's a little sad. But at the same time, there's also an entirely separate group of people who are saying, this is who I am, I'm curvy, I'm beautiful, I have freckles, or I have dark skin, or I have curly hair, or, you know, and they're going with it, they're embracing it, and they're showing off their natural God-given beauty. And that is influencing a whole other set of people to also accept themselves and want to show themselves in reality rather than, you know, in filter.
I do want to say though, it's like a very thin line, because even you know, me, where I've always been you know, a supporter of like everyone being naturally beautiful and accepting their natural selves. I started, because of the filters that I was using on Instagram sometimes, or I was watching others, I began to think or believe that I needed like maybe lip fillers, or like my lips were not big enough, or I don't know, my nose was not looking as slender. And then I had to actually you know, make an effort to stop myself and remind myself that, you know, no, I'm not, that's a filter, and I'm not meant to look like that. And you just get used to looking at yourself in a certain way, and then when you look in the mirror at your real self, you're like, oh my God, who is this? And then you're like, I need to fix this, I need to fix that.
And hopefully we all belong to that clan of natural beauties. Okay, so this topic was so deep and close, I'd like to attach a little fun element by playing a small rapid fire with you guys. So Nitya, we'll start with you. Nitya, an entrepreneur, or Nitya, a model?
Model.
Your favorite fashion accessory?
Jewelry.
Gaurav Gupta, Tarun Teheliani, Abujani, Sandeep Khosla. Rank them to your liking.
Exactly in that order.
Your favorite body part?
It doesn't in the face.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bold or subtle but strong?
I've always been bold, so if I say subtle but strong, I think I'll be a hypocrite, so bold. Yeah.
Do you have a universal styling tip you can share with us?
Confidence. I think you just need to have confidence and like be happy in your skin and feel good inside, and everything else just like falls into place.
Okay, one superpower you would like to possess?
I think it would be like making the earth more green and pollution control, like basically Captain Planet. Love to be Captain Planet.
Thank you for that. Anjali? Anjali is 6 foot tall or Anjali 5 foot tall?
It depends. If I'm in a concert, then Anjali 6 foot tall, but generally in life, 5.
Sabyasachi or Jade?
Sabyasachi.
Physical strength or mental strength?
Mental strength any day.
Learn by watching or doing?
Well, I learned by watching and doing. Can I choose both?
Sure. What would you say to models who are just starting their careers?
I'd say hang in there. In one ear, out the other. Don't let what people say to you affect you. And you'll hear no more than you hear yes, so you need to develop a thick skin.
One superpower you would like to possess?
Mind control.
Mind control.
Some people can be very stubborn.
That's scary. Anjali? Physical strength or mental strength?
For me, both.
Thinker or doer?
I think I'm doer.
आपका परिवार और modeling परिवार?
so confusing. Both.
What would you rather travel to the past or the future?
Of course, future.
Cautious or bold?
Bold.
What is the one superpower you would like to possess?
I don't know how to define this. अगर मुझे ऐसे पावर मिल जाता तो मैं सबके माइंड में जो होता है ना कि इक्वलिटी होना चाहिए कि इक्वली बिहेव करे, whether it's men's, women's, whether any gender, any color, whether it's अमीर गरीब जो कुछ भी हो, we are human being, सबको इंसानियत की नाते से देखना चाहिए नज़र से. तो इक्वालिटी जो पता नहीं उसको क्या बोलते कैसे डाले, I want that.
Thank you for this. This was the most engaging and thought-provoking chats that we had in a long time. Before we start taking questions from the audience, do you have a message you would like to give to every woman sitting here today struggling to embrace their body type?
Yeah. You know, in 2020, I was shamed a lot for my body, and I went through a period where I was meant to give detailed reports of what I was eating and constantly show my torso and share the weight on my weighing scale on a daily basis, and that put a really it put me in a state of dysphoria, and I have quite severe body dysmorphia because of it. But recently I've been trying to look at myself and accept myself a little more. And I would say that people are going to say things that are hurtful, and people are going to say things that are going to affect you really adversely. And it's important to just be true to yourself and know who you are and not let that affect you, because people will be horrible. Anyone, like especially your own insecurities are always projected onto other people, and you don't deserve that. So always be true to yourself and just try and embrace what you have, and again, in one ear and out the other.
I'd like to say two things, actually. One thing is that when you look at someone else and you're like, oh my God, I wish I could look like that, or I wish I could, look better. Your body is not meant, or you were not, you're not born for vanity sake only. I mean, you're meant to look like your parents and your family. Like you see your mother's nose, your dad's eyes, your grandmother's smile. So you look the way you look because it will remind your sibling, of your parents in the future when your parents are not around, or, it's kind of like a gift from them, from your ancestors. Like, so you should actually celebrate and kind of enjoy and love that about yourself, that you are a product of your parents. And we're constantly striving for perfection, but like when something becomes perfect, it stops growing, or it stops changing, or it stops becoming better. So that is not like the end goal. It shouldn't be like the end goal, really. And I forgot what I was going to say. So, Anjali.
That's okay.
I think I just want to say one thing. What I feel is like your happiness is really, really important. So for your happiness, do not sacrifice anything. Whether it's like, a relationship as a girlfriend, boyfriend, or as a husband and wife. It might be in your job. If you are not happy, then how you will achieve your goal, or how you will move forward. So most important thing is your happiness. अगर आप खुश रहोगे तभी तो आप अपने ड्रीम को आके लेके जा पाओगे. आप खुश रहोगे तो दूसरे को खुश कर पाओगे. And another thing is never ever compare with anyone. You are the you, whether it's color, whether it's size, whether it's gender. Just come as you are, who you are. Thank you.
Thank you. Lovely messages by all. We've read a lot about you, but truly it was very inspirational to have these stories firsthand. We now open the session for questions. May we please have questions for Ms. Anjali Sivaraman first? Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Zainab, and I'm a wellness coach. My question for you is basically very inspiring and very nice to hear all of you give your views on this topic. I just wanted to know, just to keep it light, how do you start your day?
How do I start my day? I don't have any particular routine, but of late I've been trying to start my day earlier in the day to try and build a routine for myself. I find that a regular routine keeps your mind healthy and it keeps your body going. I try to exercise at least 5 times a week.
Fantastic.
Not because I want to lose weight or anything like that, but because it keeps your body moving, it keeps you feeling healthier and fitter, and I find that the fitter and healthier that you feel, the fitter and healthier you feel in your mind as well, and then your general outlook to life becomes a little more positive.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Fitness is very, very important. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Zainab. The next question.
Hi, I'm Payal Jain and I'm a writer. I want to know who has been your favorite designer to work with? Who hasn't asked you to change anything about yourself and just like be yourself?
Just like Anjali said, it's Sabyasachi Mukherjee. He has genuinely been the most incredible person that I've worked with, mostly because of his work ethic, because he's incredibly hardworking and it actually shows. When we were up at 5 in the morning doing our hair and makeup, he was right there with us. He would wake up and he would be there with us, working on his own thing, but just so that we were all, equal. He treats his team really well, and it's always a nicer environment to be in when the rest of the team, even people who aren't as accomplished, are treated well and with dignity and respect, because I genuinely find that to be something that is very telling of a person's character. And he treats the models very, very, very nicely. We get all of our basic respect in the sense that, yes, we get our food on time. We don't really have to go out and ask for it, which we do have to do with a lot of designers. And at work, we have to do that a lot, which is weird because food is basic. And he sits down and he takes the time to get to know everyone. And it's just a generally very positive and fun environment to work in. Yep.
Thank you, Payal. Maybe please, could you please pass the mic to Ms. Kamini?
Hi, Anjali. My question is again to you. I recently watched a movie on Netflix and you played a tomboy character in it. So you were like, you held your own against people like Pratik Babbar and seasoned actors. So how was the experience? Is that the next step, like after modeling, since you almost, like if we see Ash Dean, we see every single designer, Indian designer, you're ruling their page. So today when I saw that, you were one of the models, I was wondering, she's everywhere. So does she even need to redefine pretty?
Well, my next step is acting. Acting has always been my biggest passion, and I've wanted to get into it for the longest time, but I was always denied the opportunity, mostly because of the way I look, surprisingly. With Cobalt Blue, the experience was life-changing, actually, because it allowed me to explore a different character and completely step out of my comfort zone. I cut my hair short. I wasn't wearing a wig. So that was a huge change because the way I look completely changed overnight. I had to be stripped bare of any makeup, so I was completely bare skinned. And at that point, I was going through a bit of a hormonal imbalance, so I had a lot of acne. Because of our working hours, I wasn't really sleeping well and all of that. So all of my insecurities were, wide open on display. I had to change my body. I had to change the way I talk. I had to change every single aspect of my being to fit that character. And it was an incredible experience because I got to understand what a different person must go through in life, what their insecurities must be, what they feel like. And that allowed me to become a little more empathetic as a person. And I feel like that's really important. How I redefined my pretty, through that experience, I became a lot more comfortable with my bare skin and just the way that I am. Because I think anyone here would have told you, before I got dressed up for this event, I did not look like this. I was very bare, and I'm most comfortable now in that avatar of mine. And yeah, so the experience of acting in a film like that allowed me to become more comfortable with who I actually am.
Thank you. May we please have questions for Miss Nitya Arora? Could you please pass the mic?
Hi, I'm Anokha. Thanks for being here. I really enjoyed the session. See, body positivity means different things to different people. For me, it means not letting your looks define who you are. You must not let yourself or others put you down if you're not conventionally beautiful. But if someone wants to work out to lose weight or go under the knife, it doesn't mean they're not body positive if they're doing it for themselves, is it? Because with that logic, why even use makeup? Like, I'm comfortable without makeup, but I do enjoy myself, with some lipstick on or probably with some blush, so why not? What's your take on this?
I believe in live and let live. I think everyone should do what they, want and desire. I just believe that if it makes you feel better internally and it makes you feel more confident, you should do whatever you want, whether it's surgical enhancements or whether it's makeup. But I don't think that you should put yourself down because you look a certain way. Like, if you want to do it,
absolutely,
it's just like self-deprecating to constantly think ill of yourself or think badly of yourself and talk badly of yourself. A lot of the times people say, they put themselves down in front of their friends or in front of colleagues, and I just think that is very damaging to your mental health. And as long as you're happy doing whatever you're doing, it's great.
Yeah, like I said, it shouldn't define who you are, but at the same time, I do love myself irrespective. Why have pink rosy cheeks or, or pink lips? I like a little makeup on, but like you said, I love myself irrespective, and I really respect that you do too.
Yeah, and I think that balance is very important in life, in anything you do. You want to get enhancements, sure, but there are people who really go into spiral and they get really carried away, and then at the end of it they look so distorted that they don't recognize themselves, and you can't reverse these things, and it lands up giving them a lot of issues, physical health issues as well as mental issues. So as long as you have perspective, you're balanced, you know what you're doing, you're well informed, and you're happy, that's all that matters.
Yeah, love your body at the end of the day. I agree. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we have another question for Ms. Arora? Can I ask one?
Hello everyone, this is Aditi, And ma'am, I would like to ask that there are times with everybody, on some or the other occasion, we feel so low. Like, what is one thing that you do to keep going? Like that doesn't let you down or pull you down. What is that one thing or one anything like what you do or whatever makes you move?
That's actually a great question because I feel like, no one's like the ultimate goal is to like be constant, but we're constantly going through ups and downs, and that's what life is. Um, for me, when I'm feeling low and not feeling great about myself, there's a bunch of things that I know work for me. One is I go for a walk, because like Anjali had said earlier, like when you are physically active and it releases chemicals in your brain that automatically make you feel, more positive and happy and better. And as soon as I'm done even walking like half a kilometer, I'm already feeling more positive about life. So that's one thing that I know that will help me immediately. Emotional eating is very easy. So,
but it has its
and it's hard to stop that one. But yeah, that's something else that food makes me happy. So, but then it's very short term. I think the walk is better, or I just tell myself that, this day is going to pass. Today is just not my day. It's going to pass, and tomorrow is going to be better, and it always is better.
Thank you for that, ma'am. It was very nice.
You're welcome. Thanks for the question.
Yeah, we have another question. Yeah.
Yeah, hi, this is Gayatri. Extraordinarily pretty and unique girls, you'll have setting examples. In this male-dominated society, how all three of you face day to day with your co-models, with the male models, or the male fraternity that you all go around traveling countries and around the globe? This is for all three, or anybody could answer.
I think in fashion, I feel bad for the male models sometimes.
I agree. Mostly because they're not given the option of diversity. They have to be tall and have a certain body type and look a certain way. And I haven't noticed any change. I haven't noticed any change in the industry in terms of male models where they're allowed, a little more diversity in terms of height, in terms of skin, in terms of looks, in terms of body types. Whereas for female models, there's a huge change. Yeah, exactly. It's like I did a shoot where I had a male model as my co-worker for the day, and he was basically used as a prop while I was the focus of the day. And every time he would say, okay, so what do I need to do? They'd just be like, oh, just go stand there. And then he'd be like, oh, okay. So it's a little sad. It is.
It's actually quite a pleasant change from the rest of the world, where in every other industry, it's like even when you go to buy a car or you go to buy something in a showroom, they will always look at the male, who's with you, whether you're going with your brother or your spouse or your father. They will never look at you and sell you something, because the men always are the decision makers, or they handle the finances. So in every other aspect of life, men are always at the forefront and they get all the importance. So a lot of the times as a designer, I've had people ask me, "Ha, to sir kahan hai?" or boss kahan hai? And I'm like, dude, I'm the boss. It's my company, and I'm placing the order. So I think it's fine that in fashion, male models are treated as props. It's okay.
No, I feel like it's the one industry that should have equality. There's and no question about it, because I don't understand why there would be a disparity between men and women in the modeling industry. I mean, at the end of the day, we're both standing in front of a camera, we're representing a brand, and we're doing the best that we can. So I don't.
The focus is on selling women's clothes. So
Agree to disagree.
I'm glad that was said. Can we have questions for Miss Anjali Lama now? Please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone. My name is Namrata Patwari. I'm a chartered accountant and an investment banker by profession. I think I'd be lying if I say that I've never had weight issues. Like most of us, even I've gone through it. And that's why I find all three of you so inspiring in your journeys as well. My question is for all of you. Usually being underweight or overweight is considered one of the parameters of good health. How do you strike a balance between being body positive, accepting your body, standing up for whatever your belief system is, while also pushing yourself to be a better version of yourself and put efforts in that direction of achieving a better health?
I think my answer would be like I have already also said, just be yourself. Don't try to copy others कि वो ऐसे दिखते हैं मुझे भी ऐसे बनना है कि मुझे भी ऐसा कि ऑपरेशन करके ऐसा बनना है या तो बिना खा के लूज वेट करके मुझे भी उसका जैसा फिगर बनाना है. प्लीज़ डोंट डू दैट. एंड कितने आजकल के यंग जनरेशन में इतने यंग यूथ का ऐसा भी सोचते हैं कि इफ़ यू हैव प्लस बॉडी कितने लोग सोचते हैं कि उनको कम खाना चाहिए, एक्सरसाइज नहीं करना चाहिए. एंड जैसे कि मैं पतली दिखती हूँ तो यू हैव टू ईट अलॉट, तुम खाती नहीं हो, तुम्हें एक्सरसाइज करने की कोई ज़रूरी नहीं है. दिस इज़ टोटली रॉन्ग. कि whether you are plus size or regular size or zero size, healthy food and exercise is equal for each and everyone. Ki ki healthy food. What I do is and I love is homemade well cooked food, lot of vegetables, lot of fruits, and do some exercise at least 20 minutes. Is if you are doing exercise every day, then 20 minutes is also enough. Ki you don't have to spend 2 hours or every day 1 hour in a gym. Little bit at least you have to give sometimes for your body. Exercise जैसे कि खाना हमारे बॉडी के लिए ज़रूरत है, exercise also equal. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have another question for Ms. Lama? Please pass the mic to Komal.
Hi, my name is Komal. So my question is, you mentioned you are moving to New York. And would like to know what are your plans and what are the new big projects that you are planning to take?
Oh my God. I don't know. I cannot believe myself where I am today. मैं जिस जगह से आई हूँ, इतना छोटी गांव नेपाल से आई. नेपाल में मैंने इतने साल मॉडलिंग किया एंड मुंबई में मैंने 5 साल स्पेंड किया. 5 साल में मैंने जितना सोचा भी नहीं था कि इतने सारे अचीवमेंट कर पाऊँगी, इतने अचीवमेंट मिलेगा, इतने सारे लोगों के साथ काम करने को मिलेगा. एंड टुडे आई एम इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू ऑल. आई एम सो ग्रेटफुल. Thank you so much for each and everyone for giving me the opportunity. I'm so grateful. And now I'm shifting to New York and I have an agency over there. Let's see कि क्या होगा. जब तक वहाँ जाके try नहीं करेगा, पता नहीं चलेगा कि क्या होने वाला है. कि अभी से मैं I cannot say कि मैं वहाँ जाके इतना अचीव करूँगी, ऐसा होगा, वो कुछ पता नहीं है. जाने के बाद ही पता चलेगा. मेरा हार्ड वर्क एंड मेरा कोशिश हमेशा से जारी रहेगी, मैं करूँगी. लेट्स सी व्हाट विल हैपन. द थिंग इज़ आई एम वेरी एक्साइटेड माई सेल्फ कि मैं यहाँ जितना किया मैंने कि मैं उसी जर्नी को मैं बरकरार रख पाऊँ, कर सकूँ. बस इतना लाइक अभी से ऐसे मैं इस प्रोजेक्ट के साथ हूँ, ऐसा कुछ है नहीं, मुझे वहाँ जाके कोशिश करना पड़ेगा, देखना पड़ेगा कि वो सिटी में मेरे लिए क्या होगा, पता नहीं. आई विल बी जस्ट बी माई सेल्फ.
All the best.
थैंक यू.
Thank you all. I sincerely applaud your courage and thank you for those insightful answers. This session was truly an eye-opener. I now request the Byflow committee members to get autographs signed by these dynamic guests. May I request Vice Chairperson Aarti Shah for the vote of thanks?
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Aarti Shah. On behalf of Byflow Committee, it's a privilege to propose vote of thanks. I would like to start thanking our distinguished speakers today, Ms. Anjali Shivaraman, Ms. Nitya Arora, and Ms. Anjali Lama, who have each made powerful mark in the world of fashion, breaking stereotypes and glass ceiling, and in the process, redefining the word pretty for the world. You are each an outstanding example for us all and an inspiration for every young lady who is struggling to feel happy in her skin. In a world where pretty is typecast by a popular public opinion fitting women into molds approved by society, your inspiring stories have created the ripple of change and transformation. Please accept our heartfelt thanks for being here for this event and sharing your stories and deep insights. Also, our heartfelt gratitude to all our Flow Past chairs and Flow Past chairs. As always, your mere presence is encouraging for us all. And of course, thanks to all our wonderful members who have filled this event with your extraordinary energy. Finally, I extend our thanks to the hospitality partner ITC Kohinoor and press and media for the gracious coverage for our event. Thank you everyone for making this event a grand success. Please join us for high tea.